Good morning, Moreh Rabotai. B'ezrat Hashem, Mincha today is going to be 6:45, and the early minyan is going to pray 5:45. Please make sure to be on time. The learning is sponsored for the success of Anonymous and Refuah Shelema of Devorah Bat Berta. Any further sponsorships, please contact Rabbi Babayev. Also, the Mechirat Chametz forms are on my table. Everybody fill it out. Come over to me and we'll do a kinyan and then put it down. If I'm not here, you could just leave it on the table. That's also good. The halakha tells us, as we were discussing the rules of writing and the prohibition of writing on Shabbat, it's not just when a person writes with a pen and ink that he's hayav. Even if he's not using ink, even if he's using anything, no material to write. For example, let's say he has a metal plate or a gold tablet, and he takes sharp metal and he etches inside the tablet his name, or he etches words. In that case, he would also be violating, even on the Torah level, a Torah violation of writing, although he's not using ink. And similarly, if a person were to take a fabric and he were to start stitching and stitching and stitching until he makes a letter and then a second letter, he would be also hayav. He would be in violation, a Torah violation of writing on Shabbat, even though that's a little bit more unusual. You say that's not the typical way you write. You take a pen, you take a pencil, but you take stitches, that's called writing? The answer is yes. That's also referred to as being kotev, and it would also be a Torah violation. From here you could learn, a lot of times the kids, they have what this is, a magnet pen that they take and they write on a special board, and it makes words, it makes letters, it makes different things. To use that on Shabbat, obviously if the child is 3 years old below, there's no mitzvah for him to keep Shabbat. If he wants to do whatever he wants to do, he could do. Until he has an understanding of what Shabbat is, you don't have to stop him. But if he's over 3, and there's mitzvah chinuch and to explain to the child, so to go ahead and to take this to write would be a violation. Now it's not a Torah violation like the first 2 cases I mentioned, for the very simple reason, like we mentioned yesterday, that when you write on a cell phone, that's only rabbinic. And the reason that was rabbinic is because it's not permanent. It goes in, it gets erased, it then comes back. It's not made to be permanent. So in the first cases we mentioned, it was made to be permanent. In this case, where a person writes through the magnets, that is temporary. So it will only be asur on a rabbinic level. But the fact that he's not using ink is not a reason to exempt him from the prohibition of writing. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.